Well, hello, and thank you for having me here at the beautiful Brooklyn Grange, and thank you, Reed, for organizing it to Ornithology Jazz Club. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Katerina, and I'm the founder of Precycle. Precycle is the first zero-waste grocery store in New York City. It was created with the idea in mind that customers should have access to wonderful, sustainable, locally grown food without the packaging or food waste. I initially started thinking about this in 2015 when my then kindergartner came home from school. He had a sustainability lesson and he asked me a question. He said, "Mommy, do you know how long the plastic will remain in the landfill?" And I think that moment on, it just sort of became very clear to me that I needed to do something about the pollution that we're creating for the generations to come. Leaving the planet in the state that it is now just didn't seem like an option to me. So I know it's not much, but we all can do something. So 3 years later, in December 2018, Precycle opened its doors, and we've been really fortunate to have a wonderful community supporting our business and our ideas, learning and teaching us every day what the plans for future are. I'd like to make this idea sort of buying groceries without waste, creating waste, a norm, something that's not a niche or specialty, something that's available to everyone, everywhere. And that's what we're working on slowly. We recently started a delivery platform where you can order goods online and get them delivered to your door in an electrical van. Everything comes in reusable packaging that we take back. So those are the plans for the future. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I run partnerships, communications, events, and special programming for Modo Yoga NYC. Thank you so much to Brooklyn Grange, and to Jazz Anthology for having us here. So Modo Yoga NYC is a eco-friendly and socially conscious hot yoga studio. We have locations in the West Village and Williamsburg. We're part of the Greater Modo Yoga organization, which started out of Canada. It was founded by two climate activists, so sustainability and climate work is really embedded into the ethos of who we are and how we approach our business. For instance, when we built out New York, all of our insulation was made from recycled denim. We have reclaimed wood and cork floors for all of our surfaces and studios. We have radiant heating panels that are energy efficient. All of our processes as we move forward are all sustainable. So we've worked to make sure that we're using eco-friendly products, cleaning products, soaps, solvents, everything like that. And we started 10 years ago, so really this was something that not a lot of people were working on at that time as they were starting new businesses in the city. And it's been lovely to watch this become more of the norm. But it was an interesting way of starting out with a hot yoga studio. We have these green walls in both studios. We really believe in creating green spaces, so it's a lot of what we're working to do. And then from a programming perspective, what we're mostly working on, right, like how does yoga sort of play into this, is we're constantly partnering with local organizations who are working in sustainability. We have these pillars that we live by. One of them is Be Green and Be Peace, right? So what I'm doing a lot of is researching, connecting with local organizations who are really leaders in sustainability and social justice. We run these events called Karma classes, which are live music classes. Our founders were also musicians, so it's lovely to be able to partner on this. Live music classes that sort of integrate music, giving back, and yoga. We've raised a lot of money and awareness and overall education for our community on so many different topics and subjects over the years. Some of the areas that we've had the greatest impact are with the creation of Jungle Keepers, which is an organization that our founder created. they're working to protect areas of the Peruvian rainforest. So they started a ranger system there, and through our work with them, we've been able to protect over 65,000 acres of land in some of the most endangered areas in the Peruvian Amazon. And then additionally, we worked with 1,000 Cities, which was a research project that just launched in 2020. We launched the carbon calculator. So they're working with cities who have signed on to the Paris Climate Agreement or have public carbon budgets to basically create this carbon budget that calculates how much fuel they have left to burn in order for us to build the sustainable world that they've signed on to do. These are things that we really worked hard to integrate yoga into. So all of the ways that we were able to support it were through yoga challenges, through live music class, and through fundraising and educational support with our community. Going forward, we're constantly looking to make the greatest impact we can and learn from the leaders of these different sectors, right? So learning from people who are working in climate justice, from organizations who are leading social justice and change throughout New York and also throughout the world. So we're constantly partnering with new organizations. I spend so much time just learning and educating myself on who's doing this work and how we can bring yoga into it, how we can lead a more mindful practice in our studios and outside of our walls, and how we can learn from each other as different groups, sort of working towards the same goals. So that's a little bit about us and who we are, where we come from, and where we hope to go. And thank you so much for having us. It's a joy to be here.
Hi everyone, my name is Eloisa Trinidad. I'm the Executive Director at Chili's on Wheels. We are a national network and we work to make veganism accessible to communities in need. We do that through direct food relief, policy, education, and mentorship. So our work takes us in a lot of different routes and meeting a lot of amazing people. One thing that we're really passionate about is building coalition and alliances. We really believe that the only road to liberation is through community building and coming together. Our mentorship program focuses on all of the aspects of veganism, from animal liberation to the liberation of human beings that are exploited as well, and environmental, so liberation for our planet. Within that, we speak a lot about colonialism and how colonization, specifically Western colonization, has led to much of the climate change and environmental injustices that we see today. And we also partner with organizations that are on the ground, doing different and various ways of affecting and change within their community. So whether they're focusing on anti-justice initiatives or whether they're focusing on food justice as well. We work with unhoused individuals, students, refugees, and anyone who may be in need of direct food relief. Our policy entails working on systemic change to better planetary health and the health of all of the people here. So we partner with organizations such as Friends of the Earth. Within that, we have started a youth steering committee which focuses on really mitigating the effects of hunger as well as climate change. They work on federal policy and also on bettering the USDA guidelines. Recently, we had a couple legislative wins that were really amazing. Our language was included within the House Agricultural Appropriations report, and within CNR, which is Child Nutrition Reauthorization, and for the first time in history, provisions for plant-based school meals across the country and plant-based milk were included. People who have dietary restrictions, whether due to health or for their belief in what animal agriculture is doing to the planet, or because of religious belief, having much harder time accessing food. And we believe that we're not going to address hunger if we don't address all of the issues within food insecurity. We also partner with organizations that believe in liberation practice through all facets of lifestyle medicine, which includes meditation, reducing stress, as well as really fighting for systemic change. So one of the things that we do is empower communities to create alternate systems of survival while we try to make these changes, because policy work obviously takes quite a long time. We really take our liberation practice across the board. In Hawaii, we've partnered with land defenders. We do that through food. We believe that food brings us all together. In Puerto Rico, during Hurricane Maria, we've provided direct relief, so not just food, but also giving out kits so people could clean their water. We also fed not just the people there, but the animals as well that were impacted by Hurricane Maria. Our founder, Michelle Carrera, who started the organization in 2008, also started a micro sanctuary as well. So that's just some of the work that we do. Our direct food relief really focuses on the communities that are most impacted, especially here in New York City, which is the South Bronx and Brownsville. So we provide them with locally grown organic produce as well as dry goods for them to have access to healthy food. And all of our services are free to the community. One of the ways that you can support us is by sharing food with your community, as well as fighting for access for those who don't have it. In the U.S., we have 50 million Americans that are hungry, and most of them are families with children. Within that, there are also a lot of people suffering because they are directly impacted by animal agriculture, and not just long-term climate change, but immediate impact to their health. Through factory farms that are placed within their communities. Most of these folks are either poor or communities of color. So most of the food that is grown here in the U.S. for consumption that's animal-based, about 99%, 0.5%. So it's really hard to get away from factory farmed food. And these communities are facing air pollution, water pollution, land pollution. 12,000 people alone die from the air pollution that is caused by animal agriculture within the U.S. So that's quite a lot of deaths that we don't get to hear about. So our focus is definitely liberation praxis on all ends, and we believe that all beings should have the right to their body, so bodily autonomy and freedom for all, regardless of species.